Well, we are starting a new program here where we are going to have a children's sermon once a month, usually on the third Sunday of the month. So thanks for everybody coming up. And so, I'm Paula, and I have a question for you, especially to the little ones. We'll kind of address them. If you were going to visit someone in another town or city, you might first ask somebody how to get there. If you've never been there before, you would probably ask for directions, wouldn't you? Don't you think so? And maybe they could give you some general directions. Maybe they would say, well, you would go down this road for a little while and then you have to turn right at the tree, the big maple tree. Or maybe you have to go down then a little further and turn left at the gas station. So that would be a way to figure out how to get to where you needed to go. Or another thing that you could do would be to look at a map. And a map would tell you, and there's lots of different maps in here. You could look at a map. But another way that people do it today, right, we're going to be modern, is most people, they use their phone, don't they? And you know what? Or maybe it says to Pine Grove Bible Church. But we didn't have to use it today because we have a GPS in our car, but you know what? Vivian and I were so busy talking that we missed our turn. So it was a good thing we had our GPS because we had to go a different way. And I said last night, we'll probably get hung up somewhere just because I'm doing something new today. That's exactly what happened. But anyway, so there's lots of ways you can ask somebody. You can use the map, or you can use your phone or the GPS. Well, as we've been singing Christmas carols and talking about Christmas, and I'm sure you've been talking about Christmas probably in your Sunday school class. Well, after Jesus was born, and I have a picture for you, just to show you, remind you, right? There's Joseph and who else? Mary and who else? Right? After he was born, some wise men heard that a king had been born. And they wanted to find the king. We just talked about, finding our way with a map or with our phone. So they wanted to find the king so that they could worship him. So they went to Jerusalem and they asked where they could find this king. Well, the king asked some priests, and the priests knew where he was going to be born because in the book of Micah, it said he was going to be born in Jerusalem. In Bethlehem. There's the book of Micah. So Micah had already foretold it. Well, the king was not a very good king because he wanted to find where Jesus was born because he felt threatened by him and thought that he might want to be king instead. So, but he told the wise men, he said, you can find Jesus in Bethlehem. So he sent them on their way so that they would find this new king. We won't get into the rest of the story, but he was evil and wanted to actually kill baby Jesus. But anyway, here's a picture of the wise men. So they went on their way, but how were they going to find their way? What did God put in the sky? Right, the stars. And here is a bigger picture that will really show us that was a very bright star, wasn't it? That was a very bright star. So, they didn't have a map. They didn't have phones or a GPS, but God gave them a star. So they followed the star, and when they finally got there Do you think Jesus was still a baby when they finally got there? Actually, he had grown a little. Could they go by car? No, the artists picture them that they usually are on camels, but we don't. When we saw that in the picture, we don't know that for sure. But they either had to walk or be on a slow-moving animal, so it took a while. And so when they finally got there, Jesus was probably a little boy. He was probably the size of Declan, or maybe Julia. Yeah, he was probably that size. See Julia? There they are. Right. And when they came, what did they get? They give, who knows the three gifts that Philip, gold, frankincense, and myrrh, right? All right. Well, wise men are still seeking for Jesus. But do we look in Bethlehem for Jesus now? No, because where is Jesus? He's in heaven, sitting on the right hand of God, right? So we don't need a map. We don't need our phone. We don't need a GPS. We don't even need a star because we have God's Word. And that's where we can find Jesus today. So we read God's Word, we come to church, we listen to Pastor JJ and to our teachers, and that's how we